Hi people on YouTube. I'm back with my video on pearls. So finally shooting this for the nth number of time. So I want to show you my pearl collection and talk about how I identify pearls from fake pearls and some regards to the different type of pearls and the value of pearls and grading of pearls. Maybe I will break it down to several different videos. So this is my pearl collection which I have with me right now, and there's some fake pearls, and most of these are all real pearls, as in they were made by an animal, and some of it is in silver, some of it is in gold, and some of it is just on some metal thread and base metal clasps. So pearls can be, either made by humans, these are the fake pearls, or they're made by animals. So that is the real pearl, what I would call a real pearl. So the pearl is not going to be imaginary, isn't it? So anyway, that's what a real pearl means, I think, when people say that. So these real pearls which are made by animals can also be classified as natural pearls or cultured pearls. So natural is when it happens in nature just by accident. It's very, very rare and therefore also very expensive. So when you take these animals and you to eat them, you take them from the habitat and open them up, and you happen to find a pearl over there by accident, that's natural pearl, and it's so rare and it's so difficult to do that. Can you imagine how many shells you have to open up to find a pearl? So that's why they started with culturing of pearls, where I think the first person to successfully do this was Mikimoto, and Mikimoto brand pearls are very famous. I think everybody's heard of them. They make really high quality cultured pearls, and he successfully was able to put something that irritates the mollusk into the shell, and then the mollusk would make a pearl in around that irritating material to protect itself, and then you would have a pearl after some time. So that is the difference between natural and cultured pearls. So people use this term natural very loosely, so you have to be very careful. If you're buying a natural pearl, that means it would have to mean that it came from a mollusk, that it was made in nature. Nobody helped in it or did have any part in making of the pearl, and it's not dyed, it's not treated in any way, so it's completely natural. And because of all these reasons, it would be very, very expensive. So if you're finding something and that's cheap, somebody's selling it really cheap, it's very it's very doubtful indeed that it's a natural pearl, but it could be a cultured pearl. Okay, so I think many people would not know the term, and they would just call a real pearl a cultured pearl, a natural pearl. So that is more likely when you to happen. So according to the material that it is made of, these fake pearls, these synthetic pearls, can look at this. This is one in a very old one in which the pearl coating is completely gone, and you can see the bead. And this is a new one. It's in pretty good condition. It has really nice and shiny appearance, but it is still a synthetic pearl. Look at how nice and beautiful and uniform it is. So if this was even a cultured pearl and we were buying it retail, I think it would be pretty expensive, okay, because of just its looks and the uniformity. So according to shape of pearls, according to the shape, they have different names that are given. Like you have round pearls, right? We're just talking shapes here. That can be in a natural pearl or a cultured pearl or a synthetic pearl. Okay, it could be any of the things. So just by shape, you have round, you have rondelles, and you have these rice pearls, okay, that looks like grains of rice. You have coin pearls, and you have potato pearls, or these are also called baroque. I think any odd shape is called as baroque. Odd irregular shapes are baroque. And this is called a beaver pearl. Again, this is a smaller potato pearl here. More potato pearls. This is again potato pearl. Some irregular shapes, and this is also more rounder. And you have, yeah, all these irregular shapes, and maybe some teardrops here. Yeah, in the, again, a potato kind of pearl. Okay, so you can also have different classification of pearls according to the shape. So pearls may also be classified according to, from which water source they came from. There are some freshwater pearls and also saltwater pearls. Freshwater pearls are made in, shallow water bodies, freshwater. So it's shallow. It's a place where you can actually culture the pearl very easily, because and also the mollusks are more easily available, and the cost of production is less, and you can have many pearls in one mollusk, growing in one mollusk. Whereas saltwater pearls, you have to go into the sea to find these mollusks, bring them back, and again you have to put them back in a sea in a safe way, and then they have to be there for a long period of time compared to the freshwater pearls. Saltwater pearls take longer time to form, and they will remain in the sea and you have to dive back in, go to a very deep level, and then bring them back. And it's difficult to control the environment there, and you can have loss of all mollusks, maybe due to predators or natural occurrences. So saltwater pearls are relatively more expensive, and I think there is a general rule that most saltwater pearls will be of a particular size which is bigger compared to a freshwater pearl. I mean, you can have big pearls in any of different sizes in any type, but on the whole, for some reason, saltwater pearls are larger than freshwater pearls. So according to the organism which makes these pearls, also you can have different type of pearls, the classification. So the main category of animals is the mollusca. I think that is the class of animals. So these are all invertebrates with shells, which make them, obviously, because it has to have the ability to produce this calcium based material. So it can be something like this, or a snail shell, any of these things. Oysters, mussels, snails, clams, abalone. Okay, these may be univalved or bivalved mollusks. So univalved mollusks have something in their shell, that is the part of the shell. They have the ability to make something like this, which is very shiny and pretty, called mother of pearl, or this is the same thing in a abalone shell, okay, which is more colorful than just the white portion. So that is there in univalved mollusks, whereas bivalved mollusks and gastropods like snails, they don't have the ability to produce nacre, and therefore the pearls that they produce are not, they're also called as not true, they're not true pearls, For example, you have Melu pearls, conch pearls, and pearls from giant clams. They don't have shells with this kind of material, so even the pearls they will not be like white and shiny like this. This is basically the same material. Okay, here it's just around something that's round, and again forming layers upon layers of it. Here it this is a shell which has been carved. So how does a pearl form? So we know that these animals are there, and they're living in the water. So naturally, what happens is some irritant gets inside when they open up to feed. Something will go inside the mollusk and remain there, like maybe a particle of sand, maybe some parasite, something else, some seaweed or something. Some small piece of something gets stuck inside, and it irritates the mollusk. So to protect itself, the mollusk has a layer of cells. It has to form a pearl around this irritant. It has a layer of cells on its shell, which forms this mother of pearl or nacre, the man, and that those cells will migrate and start forming a layer upon layer of calcified tissue around this irritant, so that it becomes really nice and smooth, and it is a tissue that is, it's a shell is made of it, so it's not irritating. So that's how you have a pearl. So when these cells from the mother of pearl or nacre are making the pearl, they are laying down mineral material and also protein material. So the mineral material, which is the main component in pearl, is and in the shell is called as aragonite, and the protein is conchiolin. So aragonite gives the luster to the shell and also the iridescence to the shell. Aragonite crystals and how they are arranged will give the pearl its luster and iridescence and overtones and different colors that you see when it shines. Whereas when there is more of the conchiolin or protein, the pearl will lose its luster and will have patches like we see over here. Okay, that's just a patch of lacking luster. It's not a peeling of coating or anything. So that's to be differentiated. Pearls can also be classified according to which area of the world they come from, and therefore again the kind of animal or mollusk that they come from. You have Akoya pearls, which are from general area of Japan and China. So these are usually cream or white in color. They are saltwater pearls, and mostly they are cultured. You may have natural ones also. I think Mikimoto will make such pearls. Then you have South Sea cultured pearls, which are again known saltwater pearls. The common colors you see them in are white, silver, cream, and golden, which are from the area of Australia, Indonesia, and China. So they are very large pearls with a thick nacre and long growth. Therefore, it needs long growth time and it's very difficult to grow. Tahitian cultured pearls or saltwater pearls, again from the French Polynesian area, example Tahiti, so they're called Tahitian pearls. So the color of those pearls are gray, black, brown, and they have a very nice overtone or iridescence with, like how the colors are seen when petrol and water mix. You have the different colors that can be seen, like blue, green, and purple. I have here one pearl which is supposed to be like a Tahitian pearl, but it's just a dyed freshwater pearl. Can you see the greenish color there? Yeah, so beautiful. This kind of coloring is seen in all good quality pearls, freshwater or saltwater, but it is this black coloring with this kind of overtones and iridescence is a characteristic for Tahitian pearls. And you have the freshwater pearls, um, which are pearls in the many pearls can be found in one shell or made in one shell, and therefore the price of this is low, and they're very very abundantly available, so easy to culture, and this is what most pearls are. Okay, so a very less known type of pearl is a conch pearl. I didn't even know these things existed like 2 years ago. They are made by conches in the sea, and probably conches which are just sliming around, I don't know. Huge conches that you can find. There's no known way to culture pearls within a conch, so it's pretty rare, and it's therefore mostly natural conch pearls, and therefore they're very valuable, and they come in slightly different colors compared to these mussel pearls. They are white, beige, yellow, brown, gold, or they're also called as pink pearls, which is a nickname. And they come in salmon pink, intense red pink, and pale pink, which are the more common and more coveted desirable colors. They do have some kind of iridescence or a flaming kind of color, or this is also called a chatoyancy. So when you hold the pearl and just roll it around, and you can see some stripes or some kind of iridescent areas in that, like you see in cat's eye. So this is there only in these conch pearls or Melo pearls. So the size is again very few conch pearls are of a significant size. Most of them are just 2 to 3 millimeters big. If anything, there's 10 more than 10 carat. It's very rare and valuable, so watch out for conch pearls. They look sort of like very pale coral sometimes, or like angel skin coral. You could mistake it for that. Next, I want to talk about how pearls are cultured. So, once it was discovered that you could actually put a nidus irritant into the pearls, you have to do it very cleanly, very surgically, without damaging the mollusk too much, so that it can heal and then stay alive and produce a pearl. So, anything that's irritating to the animal, this is also called as a nidus or nucleus, is introduced into the area where pearls form. So this irritates the tissues, and then mantle tissue. The mantle tissue is a part of the mollusk. It is a tissue from the mollusk itself that is used as a irritant, and it can be implanted into the animal, and this is directly covered by the nacre producing cells with nacre, and this reduces the irritation to the animal. Also, now you have glass or plastic or shell nidi, or the irritants which are used as nucleus. So these nuclei can be very very small to pretty big. Okay, so you can have a large nucleus and just leave it there to form a very thin layer of pearl, and then you remove it, then you can have a pearl of a pretty big looking size, but the actual pearl material over there is very less, and it's more easy to peel off. But if you have a very small nucleus and you leave it inside the mollusk for a long time, and it forms a very thick layer of pearl around it, and then you remove it, and you have a very good quality pearl compared to the other way, right? So also you can have these nuclei in different shapes, and also not just different sizes. You can have perfectly round ones, and then you can have star shape. Maybe you can have something like a coin, so you can see some like Buddha. Okay, whatever shape you want, you can just put a nucleus of that shape and size into the mollusk, and you'll get a pearl of whatever shape and size you want. So obviously anything that looks like, weird, or it has some form or shape, that must be a cultured pearl. So when you put this plastic glass or shell, which can also be used as a nucleus, the cells from which form the nacre, they form first a organic conchiolin sac layer around them, and then they start to produce nacre on top. So there's a little bit of conchiolin right in between the nucleus and the shiny pearl layer. Then these shells, which have been implanted with the nucleus, are then put back in water for a long time. So the longer the better, and more pearl material will be produced. And so they know when to remove it, and when they know time is up, and they remove it and they cut open the shell. Usually, I think if you do it in a really careful manner, you can reuse these shells again and again. But I think that would be something that is practiced with saltwater oysters, which are difficult to find and use. I think maybe freshwater pearls, they are not so careful with the shells, and they just kill the animal when they remove the pearls. And yeah, they remove the pearls, yeah, and then clean it up. So layer by layer formation of this calcified material will lead to the formation of a pearl. And that's why when you rub a real pearl against your tooth, whether it's natural or cultured, you will feel that the surface of the pearl is very rough. That is a very useful, and I think like a more very definitive test that pearl is made by an animal, it's not a plastic thing. So when they are pearl farming, all pearls don't come out, really well, or in a good condition. So I've seen videos of them making pearls in this pearl, of harvesting pearls in the pearl farm, where they just, cut open the shell and kind of squish the oyster around and throw it into a bin. They're just doing it really fast, so like you have a huge bin full of shucked oysters, I mean not oysters, mollusks. And then they take it to, I think, I've seen them like smash it around with their feet, or take it to a machine which kind of makes it into a pulp of like oyster flesh and pearls. And then they pour water into it and get all the flesh out. They just discard that flesh, it goes down the drain, and they save the pearls. So anyway, all the pearls will not be perfect, so they undergo different treatments, again, which reduces their value. So they may be dyed, okay, to get a different color that you want, maybe a gold color which is more desirable, or a black color to look like a Tahitian pearl. Sometimes they just dyed fancy colors because somebody wants something matching to their dress or something. Like you have here, all these are dyed pearls. They're pretty too, but they're not as expensive as a natural undyed pearl. So then there is irradiation. Irradiation, supposedly it makes pearls glow. I think it makes them kind of get a luster, the overtone, the colorful overtone. I think the way you can see here, it has very pinkish and even greenish overtones. I don't know, maybe this one is irradiated. And also bleaching. Obviously, many people even like the white pearls and the cream pearls, so they bleach the pearls so that they get a very good color, and also I think, what do you say, same color throughout, and you can match them then. And also grinding and polishing of pearls is done if there are any surface irregularities, to make them look nice and round and smooth. So you never know that when you have a bunch of pearls, is that how they came out of the shell, or have they been made like that. So I think that's all I will do for this video, and I will come back with more stuff that I've prepared in the next maybe 1 or 2 videos about how to value the pearls and how pearls are categorized or classified according by value, and also how to identify real pearls while thrifting. Okay, please like and subscribe. Okay, leave me a comment, and I will see you soon.